Spoiler alert for anyone not caught up on the Ranger Reject manga. You should turn back now or run away or whatever while you still can. So the end of Ranger Reject is officially upon us. About a year ago, I made a video giving my thoughts on if the Super Sunday battle arc was going to truly be the last arc or not, and I ended up being right, but this isn't a video to toot my own horn. Even if it did end up being the finale though, I think we would have gotten some sort of epilogue or something, which we did sort of kind of get at the end of chapter 208, but as we all know by now, that sort of got ripped out. Right now, Negi Haruba is on a hiatus. By the time this video comes out, it will either be ending like the next day or probably over, knowing me because I have such a poor time management and can't make videos in any sort of timely manner. But anyway, Negi's been on break and it's kind of a killer. Now that I think about it, in that video I made a year ago when this arc started, it was also done during a break, and I think Negi was like sick for a few weeks or something, and that's not the first time. Remember, he took a few weeks off during the Balong exams due to getting sick, and now we're just at the end of our third or fourth hiatus for the manga. I can't be mad though. I love his work and hope you guys been enjoying all the extra rest, because chapter 209 onward is really uncharted territory. Nobody has a clue what's going to happen next. Like I said in my last video, I had theories for things that would need to be handled before the story ends, and much of that has happened. Negi finally told us what the deal was with Chidori and his relationship with Sane, and we finally found out who Wendy and Ryujin were, along with the reveals for Emimatai and the Dragon Executive Johagane. All of those moments besides the Ryujin reveal were absolutely insane, especially Wendy and Johagane. We've had a busy year. 2025 was a banger, and of course there's still things I think that just haven't been fully cleared out as far as plot points, as well as some things that to me sort of came as sudden inconsistencies that I feel like lend themselves to the sudden major plot twist at the end of 208. For things that I'd consider inconsistencies, you know, feel free to disagree with me, but at the end when D transforms into Sosei in his empowered Dragon Keeper form and cuts down Chidori, I feel like that didn't really make sense. Like, yeah, he can change how he looks, but how did D suddenly gain the power of the divine dragons? There's also a bit where D breaks the chains on the fortress, which, if you remember, Yakushi told D that the process requires some sort of action to be done by a Dragon Keeper and their JFC, and we never saw that explored or learned if there was some alternate method. And just based on how thorough Negi has been with everything else in the manga, I feel like he wouldn't suddenly just gloss over a detail like this. There's a few other things I think need to be concluded too, like, you're gonna call me crazy, but I still want to see Ranmaru. I'm not buying it that it was just given a throwaway line and they talked about him retaking the Balong exams just for him to never show up again in the story. If you know me, you also know that I'm a big final boss Peltrola believer. I don't think he's truly dead or even supposed to have been implied to be dead. The good Shinya clone zapped him during Juji's Magatia space kind of thingy where D was being given Shinya's pass, and Shinya was pissed about it, you know, when he got removed from that space and he wanted to get back in so that he could fight Peltrola. A lot of characters have personal beef with Peltrola, like basically all the cadets, and XX's backstory needs to be resolved. I feel like a major part of that is kind of telling Peltrola to fuck off and probably assisting in his death, and it even feels like something D needs to do, since he was the first executive that D ran into since, you know, becoming a full-timer on the surface. I'll tell you, the moment I saw Peltrola in Chidori's flashback, I got hyped because I just knew that meant that we were going to have something to do with him in the current timeline before we got that, you know, fake out ending. But of course he didn't show up, and, you know, it is what it is. I think there's just too much potential there to have him not show up again though, basically. There's also the whole deal with D's leg. We never got to find out what that was and what it was about, and like, you got stuff like Cicera still being in a coma. Will she ever wake up? And you know, what's going to happen with Azome? I feel like in the true ending, something will have to happen to cause a shift with the public eye to where they accept the people who have become, you know, invaders like Azome. Of course it could be Cope, but I just want to see a happy ending for some characters like her. Then you have the elephant in the room, which is the final page of chapter 208, and like, man, where do we even go from here? Like, Negi played us all, and he delivered the biggest plot twist of the series and had our previous antagonist just rip up the script of the actual story and say that he's going to rewrite it. But what does this mean? How far back are we going? Will it just be the ending or epilogue, or are we looking at an entirely different final arc that could go on for like another year? Is this like a third Shinya that the evil Shinya created to write the story because the good Shinya was obsessed with stopping the evil Shinya, while the evil Shinya wanted to be the star of the show wearing the mask mask, but maybe deep down he still wanted to be a great writer and spite Sine's work, so he made another clone to write the perfect ending. As you can tell, I'm kind of just spiraling with this. Like, where does it go? What does it mean? Imagine if this is some super duper meta shit and the rewrite goes all the way back to like after the Dreamy School arc, and he just completely removes Wendy's character introduction to match the anime or something, since he wasn't in the anime. Like, man, what is happening? Like, the way this ending was, man, like when we got to the end of 208, it was like I just felt like I was ripping my face off, bro. Like, what do you mean you're ripping up the page and ripping the script and rewriting it from where? Like, how? What is this, man? Like, I love it. The plot twists that Negi's delivered have been just insane, man. Like, it's gotten to the point where I'm just like, if I look up the word plot twist in a dictionary, Negi Haraba's face, it's got to be there. It doesn't make sense if it's not. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. But realistically, I don't really see, stuff like character backstories being erased. So I feel like it makes the most sense for everything that kind of happened at the end of the Super Sunday battle at the Sunday battle to still happen, but just everything after that day gets redone. And then we get maybe one final arc that truly wraps up everything else that's left, like the Peltrola issue. Like I said, we got new chapters right around the corner, and it's been a painful hiatus, but I'm glad we're back now, and I can't wait to see what Negi will cook with this finale. I really hope that we're in for another, 3 or 4 volumes, and I'm just not ready to see Ranger Reject end yet. Not when Negi's been cooking the way he has. If you're new here, I'm Yato, a lazy YouTuber who occasionally makes Ranger Reject videos, amongst other things. I have a second channel where I do chapter reviews called Yato Revs, and a podcast called Panel Focus, where I review about 9 manga, including Ranger Reject, with my 2 co-hosts and sometimes some guests. Go check those out if you're interested. Links will be in the bio, and please like the video and subscribe to support my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.